Good morning, my friend. It's Heather Dunlop, and I want to share with you a story. And this is about how I met a man that was so influential in my healing journey. So imagine this. Here I am sitting at a real estate conference all the way in the back. Because remember, we like to hide. We don't want to be seen, be up front. So I was all the way in the back, second to best back row. And I'm at this real estate conference with hundreds of people. And there's a gentleman on stage who was a billionaire, and he's talking about the billionaire secrets to success. And I'm like, gosh, I can't wait to learn from this man. Like, he's going to share the insider secrets. What are the thoughts that go on in the mind of someone who's a billionaire? His name was Bill Bartman. And he's up there and he's talking. And I'm taking notes and I'm taking notes. And then he gets to one of the things that's a huge secret and made a pivotal moment in his life. He starts to talk about forgiveness. Not money, not how, he got his education, not how he started his first business, how he used to make all the phone calls. He starts to talk about forgiveness. And up until that point, to me, forgiveness was always about you forgive the offender, right? And we hear you have to go tell them you forgive them, you have to do this, you have to do that, and all these things. And it's always about the offender, the person who wronged you. In our case, the abuser. And I sat there and I was like, okay, but he said there's three people to forgive. The first to look at forgiving is the offender. That's one of the people. Then he talked about the second. The second is actually that third party or the witnesses, I like to say, just to give it a different term. The people who may have known and not known how to help, not they weren't sure if it was going on, they questioned, they saw something different in you and didn't know how to help. Those people, right? The third party people. And I said, that's interesting. So I thought about who are those people for me. And I said, okay, and I, take notes and write this down. I want to look into this further. Then he gets to the third person to forgive. This one hit me really hard, is yourself. You get to forgive yourself. So whether for me it was about I get to forgive myself for how I treated myself, for blaming myself, for carrying the guilt and shame, for staying silent at the time and for all those years afterwards, for being so confused later on I didn't know what was going on in life. You get to forgive yourself. And as I sat there in that back seat that day, that second to last row, that hit me so hard and had such an emotional impact that I had to put down my pen and the tears just started to fall from my eyes. And it was just such a release. And it was like, oh my gosh, I never even considered forgiving myself. Forgiving myself for all the time that I beat myself up about it, for lashing out at people that were just so kind and generous at the time, and I would lash out, forgive myself for those actions. So those are the three people. And that's what started me really on my deep, lasting healing journey. So that's why I share that with you today. So three people. The offender's just one of them. The witnesses or third party is the second. And then the third is yourself. And if you ask me, yourself is the most important person. Because forgiveness is not about any of those other people. It's all about you. And you get to forgive when you choose to, when you're ready. And let me tell you, what's on the other side of that is absolutely wonderful. So if this is resonating with you and you want to get a little more information about it, come join me and a group of women who are similar to us, who are looking to thrive in life because survival is just not enough. Come on over and join me in my Facebook group, Thriving Woman with Heather Dunlop. Come on in, we'll welcome you in with warm, loving arms, and we're going to all rise together. So come on over and let's get on your way to living your thriving life. This is Heather Dunlop. Always remember, you have strength within.